The jungle doesn't scream when death arrives. It just holds its breath, waiting for the first mistake to be made. In a 5-minute ambush, the first 4 minutes and 50 seconds are spent rotting in silence, becoming part of the mud. We aren't here to fight a war today. We are here to master the geometry of the L-shaped killing zone. Coordinates Central Highlands, Unit RT Viper. The target is a high value. Courier moving south at dawn, 5 minutes to live. Noise is a death sentence. A single candy wrapper can be heard for 50 meters when the wind dies down. We place the steel rain at knee height. In the jungle, the man who shoots first is usually the one who survives. Time stretches, seconds become minutes. Your mind starts to play tricks, turning every falling leaf into a creeping shadow. Discipline isn't about bravery. It's about letting a leech drain your blood without moving a single muscle in your face. 2 clicks on the radio, it means they are close. The smell of cheap tobacco and wood smoke precedes them. The 5-minute rule starts now. Survive the wait. And you might just survive the storm that follows next. The clacker is your lifeline. One squeeze sends 700 steel balls into the air, turning the trail into a blender. Sawgrass cuts like a razor, you don't feel the sting until the salt from your sweat finds the open wound later. We chew on ginger or bitter roots. It keeps the throat moist, so you don't cough and give the position away. This trail is a vein. Every morning, it carries the lifeblood of the enemy. Our job is to apply the tourniquet. Movement. But not the target, just a local scout. We let him pass. Patience is the only currency we have. 1 drop of CLP oil can be smelled by a tracker from 10 yards. The jungle reveals every secret you try to hide. The rain is a blessing and a curse. It hides our noise, but it washes away the edge of our senses. Navigation here is a myth. You don't follow a map. You follow the feeling of the terrain beneath your boots. The M60 is the pig. She's heavy, she's loud. She's the only thing that keeps the shadows at bay. The scout is back. 3 clicks, the target is moving into the box. 5 minutes of life left for someone today. Silence isn't just lack of noise, it is a weapon. You tape every metal ring, every buckle, until you become a ghost. The ground eats everything here, uniforms, boots, and men. If you stay still long enough, the jungle claims you as its own. Weapon maintenance is a prayer. In the humidity of the highlands, rust is a faster killer than the North Vietnamese army. You lose the sense of day and night. Under the triple canopy, it is a permanent twilight of green and shadow. Sweet stings the eyes and ruins the grip. You learn to blink slowly, keeping one open to the killing floor. The wire is the nervous system of the ambush. It connects the hunter to the trap with a single pulse of electricity. Everyone carries a ghost or a god in their pocket. In the 5-minute rule, you find out which one is listening. The enemy has his own traps, simple, primitive, and terrifyingly effective. One wrong step ends the mission before it even starts. Bamboo is a hall of mirrors. It bends, it hides, and it whispers. You never know who is standing 2 feet away. The radio is a lifeline to a world that doesn't exist anymore. Out here, the only truth is the weight of your rifle. The jungle breathes with you, you inhale the rot, and you exhale the fear. It's an intimate, terrifying rhythm. We crawl the last 50 yards. Every root feels like a tripwire, every shadow looks like a sniper's barrel. This earth has swallowed men before us. The brass casings are the only tombstones left behind in the mud. Point man, flanker, and the target. They walk with the confidence of ghosts in their own haunted house. If the point man sees the wire, we die. Would you pull the trigger early or trust the brutal silence? You don't look at their faces, you look at center mass. Faces make you hesitate, hesitation gets you killed. 5 seconds to the kill zone, the air pressure drops. It feels like the whole world is holding his breath. The silence shatters. The ambush doesn't start with a bang. It starts with the tearing of reality itself. smoke blinding the eyes. The smell of cordite and burned flesh, instantly replacing the damp rot of the jungle. We push into the void, its controlled chaos. You fire at shadows and pray your flank is still holding. The barrel overheats, burning your hand through the leather glove. You don't stop pulling the trigger until the magazine clicks completely empty. Reloading is pure muscle memory. Your brain shuts down the fear and lets the drilled reflexes take over the bloody work entirely. 2 minutes and the element of surprise is gone. Now it is just a brutal, unforgiving math equation of lead and bodies. The jungle shreds around us. Leaves turn into green confetti. An ancient tree bark explodes like wooden shrapnel against your face. The M60 screams a mechanical beast eating through heavy belts of ammunition. It is the only sound keeping the counterattack at bay. 3 minutes, the pig jams a cold spike of panic. Hits your stomach as the deafening silence lasts a microsecond too long. Yellow smoke pops, blinding everyone. You throw it not to hide, but to create a wall of absolute, suffocating confusion and terror. 4 minutes time to break contact. You never stay to admire the work. You hit, you bleed them out, and you vanish. The extraction protocol begins. A fighting withdrawal through the deep mud, firing blindly into the colored fog to keep their heads down. 5 minutes are up. If you are still in the kill zone after 300 seconds, you belong to the jungle forever. The adrenaline crashes hard. Your legs turn to heavy lead and your lungs burn like you've been breathing crushed glass. You don't stop moving until you hit the rally point. Every shifting shadow now looks like a counter ambush waiting to spring. Hands shake so violently you can barely read the dial. That isn't fear. That is just your nervous system aggressively rebooting itself. The rally point is just another patch of wet dirt. But for the next 10 minutes, it feels like an absolute sanctuary. No one speaks a word. We just count the muddy faces in the twilight. A silent nod confirms. Everyone survived the meat grinder. The water in your canteen tastes strongly of iodine and warm plastic. Right now, it is the finest vintage in the entire world. The medic patches a bloody graze in total stoic silence. We bleed. The exact same dark red as the mud we crawl through. You close your eyes for exactly 3 seconds. Any longer in the jungle might decide to swallow your soul up completely. The monsoon rain finally falls. It washes away the cordite, the blood, and the guilt, leaving absolutely nothing but the freezing cold. Base calls for a casualty report. We send back 2 clicks. We are ghosts, again quietly fading back into the deep green. The monsoon doesn't care about our petty little wars. It just drowns everything equally in cold, unforgiving gray water. We march west until the adrenaline completely burns out. Your knees buckle, but the fear of the dark keeps you upright. Every shadow behind us feels like a phantom patrol. The mind refuses to accept that we actually survived the killing floor. A rocky overhang becomes a 5-star hotel. We collapse into the dirt like broken toys, discarded by some giant hand. The rucksack hits the mud with a sickening thud. Your shoulders instantly scream in agony as the crushing weight vanishes entirely. I find a single crushed Lucky Strike hidden in my kit. It is bent damp and smells faintly of gun oil. The Zippo sparks twice before holding a flame. We pass the cigarette in total silence. Nobody says a single damn word. There is no grand realization, just the bitter taste of cheap tobacco and the absolute certainty that we are still breathing. Doe tries to open a can of peaches. His hands shake so badly the little metal tool just slips and cuts him. He curses the peaches. I actually laugh out loud. After cheating, death getting cut by a tin can is just absolutely hilarious. The adrenaline fades entirely. What remains is a hollow, empty feeling in your chest, heavier than the gear. You survived the 5-minute rule today. But the jungle doesn't keep score. It just resets the board for tomorrow. There are no heroes in the ambush. Only those who learn to become the shadow before the shadow found them. The silence of the jungle is a liar. It is always plotting, always waiting for you to simply blink. The tactics of the past shape the shadows of the present. Survival is a masterclass in absolute, disciplined stillness. If you found yourself staring into the dark tree line today, Ask yourself who was actually watching who. History is written in blood and muddy boots. We just bring the suppressed files into the cold, harsh light. The vault remains open for those who seek the uncomfortable truths hidden beneath the official combat reports and statistics. If your mind craves the darkness of the tactical unknown, authorize your clearance below. See you in the shadows. Guerrilla Vault operations. End of transmission. Stay low. Stay exceptionally quiet and never trust a perfectly silent tree line.